Great. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited for class today. We are going into the diaphragm, and I want to pull up just briefly. This isn't very long. It's like a 15-second video. So I think everybody knows the diaphragm, what it is. It's this muscle that is pretty much our primary breathing muscle. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's bring this bad boy up. Watch how the diaphragm right here, this dome underneath your, or just underneath your low ribs, watch how it, what's going on? Why? Oh, for the love of God. Sorry. I thought I had this all queued up. Oh, and now it's not even the one I want. Shit, sorry, you guys. Sorry. Anyway, never mind. So forget it. So what happens, it was a really cool video. It's a 15-second video. You can find it on YouTube. Just type in diaphragmatic breathing animation and you'll come up with this great 15-second video. No talking. All it is kind of like a round, the camera moves all the way around this animation of the diaphragm, which is this dome-shaped muscle just beneath our low ribs. The diaphragm actually attaches anteriorly, so in the front of our body, to the xiphoid process, okay, right at the base of our sternum. It attaches laterally to our 11th and 12th ribs, okay, and then posteriorly in the back body, it attaches to our lumbar spine. So this muscle is like, it's big, and it has a wide berth, if you will, and it does a great deal. Like all muscles in our body, it can weaken and it can be strengthened. And that's really important. Particularly, Jamie and I were just talking about the vid right before we recorded. You know, in this whole pandemic world that we're in now, it's crucial. It's always been crucial, but now I think we have a higher level of respect for breath and utilizing our breath in ways that are, and utilizing our breath in a way that is constructive and builds our resilience, if you will. So when we inhale, the diaphragm contracts, which means it presses down. When we exhale, the diaphragm releases and it comes back up. So it's not just the front that pumps down, it's the side that pumps down when we inhale and exhale, and it's the back that goes down and up on the inhale and exhale. And when we're breathing quickly and rapidly, I know we talk about upper chest breathing, and that's absolutely a thing. I mean, you can see it, just, you know, walk into your local Walmart and people watch for about 5 minutes and you'll see all, like 80% of the people are breathing up here in their collarbones, but their diaphragm is still making these small little pumps, right? We as yogis know that the better way, the healthier way, the more vibrant way to breathe is deep. So we have deep diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale, diaphragm presses down, which makes more room in the lungs. Exhale, diaphragm gently recoils, right? Comes back up to right size. Now, if you could watch this video or just visualize all these organs in your body, right? You've got your stomach over here on the left, you've got your liver on the right, you've got your kidneys, you've got your small and large intestine. Every time your diaphragm, as you inhale and your diaphragm presses downward, contracts and moves downward, all those organs are getting like a, and they're probably making a sound effect, something like that. So that's cool to know and to keep in mind. Now, diaphragmatic breathing and belly breathing is often used interchangeably, but for our purposes today, I want to differentiate between the two. So belly breathing is a really excellent cue, especially for yoga teachers, for us to give to our students, because we can get our students supine, which we're going to start out today, hand to belly, and literally feel our belly rise and fall. Now, of course, we know anatomically speaking, we're not breathing air into our belly. We're breathing into our diet, we're breathing into our lungs, but the diaphragm is pushing down, meaning all those organs, they kind of like, they've got to go somewhere. It's like squeezing a balloon, right? It's got to go somewhere. So that's what we call, air quotes, belly breathing. So it's a nice way to get that tangible felt sense of, okay, my diaphragm's moving. But for our purposes today, I want you to start thinking, rather than belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. The difference being that in diaphragmatic breathing, we're engaging the side and we're engaging the back, the posterior body. So we get a better sense, whether it's visual or tangible, we get a better sense of this diaphragm being this dome and really taking up our entire, the width of our entire trunk. Now, 4 primary benefits of diaphragmatic breathing: helps us relax, which lowers the harmful effects of the stress hormone cortisol that it has on our body. Cortisol is another topic altogether. It's not it gets a bad rap. It's not a totally bad hormone. It just, a lot of us live in chronic cortisol activity. So it helps relax, which lowers the harmful effects of cortisol. It lowers our heart rate, lowers our blood pressure, and it actually can help relieve the symptoms of PTSD. So diaphragmatic breathing, when we're on our back or when we're sitting upright, even when we're standing, not really that difficult once we, attach our head, we bring our brain into it and we really get a sense of what we're doing. But when we invert, when we take our head below our hips, now that's a different story. So we're going to explore that today. Nothing outrageous, nothing out of the ordinary, but I do want you to have where's my strap? I want you to have a strap and a block. What the hell? I just had a strap. Oh, here it is. I want you to have a strap and a block. And then at some point, about halfway through class, we're going to go to either the wall. I'm not going to use a wall. I'm going to just use my little stool over here. So if you've got a stool or a chair or a bench or even a table, a coffee table, that'll work great. We're not going to go crazy, like I said. So there you go. There's our practice. As you get yourself to the floor, I want you to take your strap and make a full loop with it. Buckle it up and give yourself a pretty wide loop. Okay. All right, let's get this party started. Once you make your loop, set your strap to the side, come down onto your backs. On your backs with your knees bent. Thank you so much for coming to class this morning. It means the world to me that you show up for yourself and for the others on the screen. And for the others that are coming in later for the recording. I'm excited for this one. I hope it benefits you as much as it brings me joy. So with your knees bent and your feet on the floor, take your feet a little bit wider and then let your knees drop inward towards one another and rest against each other. Bring one hand to your belly, maybe right over your navel or just above, and one hand to your low ribs. Good. For starters, before you start manipulating anything, just follow your breath. Inhale from your nose, exhale from your nose. And just at this relaxed state, this passive state, where's your breath go? Could you identify the quality of your breath this morning? What's the rate? And how about a rhythm? Is there a rhythm? to your breath this morning, or does, I mean, each breath is a new breath, right? That's for sure. But I wonder if you favor the inhalation or the exhalation. Now begin what we call first belly breathing. Let's just explore that, because I want you to, before you go into full diaphragmatic breathing, I want you to sense a difference. So especially for the yoga teachers on the screen, so you have a true felt sense of what your students might be experiencing. So right now, just classic belly breathing. Inhale. And in this relaxed state, notice if your belly just naturally rises as you breathe in, and exhale, your belly deflates as you breathe out. Very common instruction. I use it all the time. It's not wrong. And now just change your mindset, right? Change your intention and become more acutely aware of your breath moving, your diaphragm moving laterally and posteriorly. So these next several inhalations and exhalations, I want you to truly get a sense of your ribs widening. You're taking up as much width on your mat as you can. And also moving your breath into your back lungs and feeling your diaphragm, broadening your back low ribs, right? 11 and 12. And does your lumbar spine even move with this? Remember, your diaphragm's attached posteriorly to your lumbar vertebrae. Good soft jaw, neck and throat, all at ease. Let's take 2 more breaths. Deep and wide breaths. I think also we've become so aware and educated now about the lungs in this pandemic era. The majority of our lungs actually live in our back body. About 70% of our lungs are located behind our spine. And so having not only ourselves, but our students and family becoming more aware of breathing into the back body, it's a nice way to do this on the floor supine. You can feel your ribs and your thoracic spine move into the floor. Great. Good. And then from here, take your arms out like a T, and let's move just a little bit through our hip joints, just with some windshield wipers. Take your knees to the left as you breathe in and pull them back up as you breathe out. And then, just rock from side to side. You all know this. So as your diaphragm is contracting as you inhale and pressing down, you're also stretching through your trunk. Well, one more time from side to side, please. And as you finish up, don't rush. please. But as you finish up, heel toe your feet towards one another. And I want you to bring yourself upright to sitting. And when you come upright to sitting, we're going to come into Virasana. I'm going to have you sit on your block. Now, if your knees disagree with this amount of flexion, or your ankles dislike this much extension, then come into a simple cross-legged pose. Otherwise, sitting on your block, you can have it on the second or the lowest height if that suits you. I would avoid taking your tush all the way to the floor right now, where it's so early in the practice. But I want you to take the base of your palms right up here to the head of your femurs, and like a cat kneading whatever it is cats need. I know cats are needy, but kneading, you know what I mean? Or like kneading bread dough. I want you to press down right and left a couple times, and then press down firmly both head of the femurs, and lift your side ribs up. Lift your back ribs up. Oh, yeah, good. Lengthen your trunk as you anchor down through your femurs, your pelvis, your knees, and your shins. And we'll take a couple more breaths, deep breaths, diaphragmatic breaths, right? So perhaps you'll feel your ribs press into your arms laterally as you inhale. Ooh, yeah. Then your ribs come back to right size as you exhale, and you can fill your back lungs up, fill your back ribs up as you inhale. See if you can physically sense your 11th and 12th low ribs expanding in your back body. Ah, good. Exhale. Let's take one more breath all the way around. It's kind of like 360 breathing. Mm-hmm. Sweet. You can relax your hands. And now you'll find your strap. And you've got this big loop in your strap. Yeah. I want you to take the strap over your head, over your shoulders, like you're just putting on a lifesaver ring. And then you're going to cinch it up. Have your buckle out front. And you're going to cinch it up just below bra line. So below the breast, below the sternum, right at your low ribs. And, tight enough, but not that tight, but not loose enough that it falls off of you. And from here, you're going to come down into child's pose. So take your block off to the side. We'll come back to it shortly. Good. So once you get into balasana, you can reassess the strap. And, have the buckle. I'm keeping my buckle out front so that I can, or to the side, so that I can manipulate as I need to. Good. Coming into bala. Great. And fill up your strap with every inhalation. And walk your arms and your trunk over to the left. Take your right fingertips to the top left corner of your mat. Bring your left fingertips about 6 inches from your left knee with your left elbow bent, and use your fingertips to kind of push you back into your right hip. So as you lean into the right, you'll reach out from your right ribs, reaching to the left. Lean right, reach left. And breathe into your strap. It's like surround sound breathing. Make your way back through center. Take a breath at midline if that suits you. And then we'll go over to the right. Reaching your left arm to the top right corner of your mat. Pressing into your right fingertips so you kind of rock your left buttock down into your left heel. Rock into your left ribs, like really lean into the left ribs, like you're hanging off the edge of a catamaran. That sounds nice. That's a good visual. Good. Come back to center, please. And one full, rich breath, surround sound breathing. Breathing laterally into your strap, posteriorly into your strap, anteriorly into your strap. Great. And then I'm going to have you walk your hands to your knees and sit yourself upright and come onto your block once again on its second or low height, your call. Cinch up your strap just a little if you need to. Good. And then from here, I want you to bring your right fingertips to your left shoulder, elbow bent, and 3 big circles, one direction. Just going to isolate one shoulder at a time. Notice what you hear, what you feel. 3 big circles in the other direction. Good. At this point, I'm going to have you hinge at your hip crease. Bring your trunk forward. Place your left hand down onto your sticky mat, about 4 or 5 inches in front of your left knee. Bring your right fingertips to the back of your head. And as you inhale, float your right elbow up slightly. We're not looking for a huge twist. As you exhale, coil yourself down. Bring your right elbow towards your left forearm. We're going to do this 4 more times for a total of 5. Move really slow. And I'm not so concerned at this point about breathing into your strap. I think I'm hoping that's happening naturally, but rather just feel your skin move and your ribs move underneath your strap. Stay anchored through your 2 sitting bones. Very nice. Yeah, great. Good. Nice, slow and steady, moving through your cervical spine as well. Good. When you've done 5 of those, bring your right hand to the floor, lift yourself upright. Yeah. And you'll bring your left fingertips to your left shoulder. And here we go again. 3 big circles, one direction. Noticing how the shoulder presents differently, if it presents differently. 3 big circles in the other direction. And bring your left hand to the floor, about 4 or 5 inches in front of your left knee, maybe a little to the left. Oh no, sorry, right hand to the floor. Sorry, my bad. Other hand. Yeah, right hand to the floor. Left fingertips to the back of your head. And then here you go, 5 times, coiling down as you exhale. Floating your left elbow up as you inhale. Good. Moving your ribs, your intercostals, your obliques, all that we focused on in last week's class. Muscles of respiration, diaphragm being the primary mover of our breath and also the primary mover of our fascia. As you finish up, you'll lift yourself upright. And have you take your block out from underneath you one more time for Balasana. Adjust your strap if you need to. Take your knees a little wider. And for this Balasana, I want you to take your arms wide, take your hands off your sticky mat out to the sides. It's making a wide V. And press firmly into your hands. And breathe deeply into your back strap. Oh, I don't know why that made me laugh. Isn't that a Southern thing? Backstrap? I'm gonna have to Google that. Something tells me it might not be appropriate. All right, then from here, you're gonna take your hands shoulder width apart. Good, press firmly into your hands, 3 deep breaths. Breathing into your side, breathing into your back. Excellent. And now I'm going to have you place your hands out in front, right down the center of your mat, arms still stretched long, and place your right hand on top of your left hand. Okay, we're just narrowing the gap here. Right hand on top of left hand. Press your left hand firmly into the mat. Breathe deep into your strap. Your diaphragm muscle is getting a big workout today. If we only gave it as much attention as we gave our quads or our glutes, it would be a little happier. After your third breath, I'm going to have you crisscross your hands just at your ankle or your ankles, just at your wrist or your forearms. So your left hand will still be on the mat. Your right hand, you might be up on your fingertips, but your forearms are crisscrossed. 3 more deep breaths. And as your arms are crisscrossed at the forearms or the wrist, I want you to wrap your shoulders away from your head and your neck. So still find this external rotation in your upper arm bones, in your shoulder girdle. That'll make a difference. Ooh, for sure. Good. Now, keeping your hands crisscrossed, your forearms crisscrossed, I want you to lift up onto your hands and your knees. Excellent. And then float back down, hips to heels. Uncross your hands. Take your hands shoulder width apart just for a moment. And now bring your right hand to the center of your mat, left hand on top. Press firmly into the mat with your right hand. 3 deep breaths into your strap. Taking your shoulders away from your ears, finding that external rotation, broadening your upper back. And then take it one step further, crisscross at the forearms, pressing firmly into your right hand and might be on your fingertips of your left hand. Again, externally rotate through your upper arm bones, through your shoulder girdle, and 3 deep breaths. And then keeping your wrists crossed. Inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. And exhale, sit back down into your heels. Uncross your wrists. Good. Take your hands shoulder width apart. And come up onto your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes under, prepare for takeoff. Now we're ready for downward dog. Lots of shoulder extension just happened. So let's find our dog pose and find your strap. Notice what, how, if your breath changed when you took downward facing dog. So you're technically in an inversion, right? Your head is below your hips. Your head is below your heart. As far as your body is concerned, you are upside down, at least from the pelvis up, or the pelvis down, as the case may be. So what this requires is the muscle of the diaphragm to work even harder, because now it's pushing against gravity as it contracts and pushes downward, or in this case, upward, into the organs of the abdomen. Find that surround sound breath, side body, back body. And if you're a visual person, visualize this dome as you inhale, pressing up against your organs. And exhaling, gently contracting back underneath the safety of your ribs. Good. Now we're going to take the right foot forward, but I want to give you an option. If you want to take three-legged dog, breathe in and float your right heel up to the ceiling, and just pause here for a breath or two. Sink your left heel to the floor. Take your right heel up a little higher. And then as you're ready, you'll step forward. Spin your back heel down. And let's take a quarter turn to the left. So I'm going to moon the screen a bit. Quarter turn to the left, you're in Prasarita Padottanasana. And let's just side lunge a bit, lateral lunge. Bend into your left knee, left hip crease. Your fingertips are on the floor or maybe on your block. And then glide through the midline and bend into your right knee and into your right hip crease. And we'll just do this 3 times from side to side. And at your third time, you're going to land with your bending into the right. And let's pause there for a couple of breaths. Yeah, great. Good. Nice, Gina. Good. Squeeze the sticky mat with your left foot, all 4 corners of your left foot, and zip up the inseam of your left leg. In fact, take a glance at your left foot and see if you can engage your medial arch, activate your medial arch. You might lift your toes to get that action. Good. Come through center, please, and pigeon toe your feet slightly. And once again, with your hands either on the floor, or you can bring your hands to your block. As you inhale, I want you to draw your shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, pull your shoulder blades apart and dome your upper back. Twice more. Inhale. It's almost like a cat-cow, but we're not really focusing on the lumbar. And exhale, dome. Good. One more time. Inhale and hug your shoulder blades in towards your spine. And exhale, dome. Good. Inhale to neutral spine. And now I'm just going to have you fold forward as you exhale. So wherever your hands want to go to bring you comfortably into this forward bend, maybe they stay on the block, maybe fingertips to the floor. You could bring your hands to your feet if you wanted. And here we go, a bit of a deeper inversion, and breathe into your strap. Surround sound breath. Bring your fingertips to the floor. I want you to take a quarter turn to the right, so you'll be facing the top of your mat. Again, turn your right toes to the top of the mat. Come up onto the ball of your back foot. Bring your back knee down. Right hand to your right knee. Spin your right toes out about 45 degrees and then roll your right shoulder back and let's twist to the right. So you can stay like this. If you want to explore a different variation, bend your left knee, kicking your left heel up. You can reach back with your right hand and grab a hold of your left foot or your pant leg or your ankle. Good. And as you breathe into your strap, feel the skin move underneath your strap. Feel the texture of the fabric of your shirt as it has to move and give and rotate underneath your strap. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. Wonderful. And release your foot if you have it. Bring your hands back to the floor, fingertips back to the floor, then your hands come up off of your back knee. Yeah, good runner stretch for a brief moment. And then you'll step back to downward dog or balasana. Child's pose is absolutely an option. Just a breath to kind of reset, realign, reestablish symmetry in your body. Breathe into your back ribs, breathe into your strap. Good. Now you'll take your left heel up, inhaling. Sink your right heel a little closer to the floor. God, I'm getting a head rush with all this deep breath, deep breathing. I'm like, woo. And then step your left foot forward. Bring your right heel down and take yourself a quarter turn to the right. And you know what's happening. So we're going to come right into Skandasana. The right foot is down, quarter turn to the right. So we start out in the wide-legged forward bend. And then we'll sink into the right knee, right hip. Slowly inhale, glide through the midline. Exhaling, sinking into the left knee, left hip. Side to side, fingertips to the floor or come to your block. Very nice. So at round 3, you're going to pause with your left knee bent. Stretching through the inseam of your right leg. From your inner heel all the way up to your pelvic floor. Both a stretching, an elongating, stretching, but also at the same time activating and zipping up. Good. Come back to middle, please. Wide-legged forward bend. And do 3 of those scap presses, hands to the floor or your block. Inhale to draw your shoulder blades towards your spine, broaden your collarbones, and exhale, dome your thoracic spine. Inhale, direct your breath more specifically into your front ribs, side ribs. As you exhale, direct your breath into your back ribs. Yeah, beautiful, ladies. It looks great. One more time. And you'll come into a forward fold. Placing your hands wherever it's comfortable to place your hands. Hands to the floor. And maybe you take your hands behind your back and clasp your fingers together if you'd like. Just stay for a couple of breaths. Yeah, good, Maxine. Nice way to counter the flexion. Okay, fingertips back to the floor, please. If they're not, we're going to make a quarter turn to the left. So once more, you are in this lunge facing the top of your sticky mat. Bring your right knee down. And let's prepare to twist to the left. Left hand to left knee. Take your left toes. Spin your toes about 45 degrees to the left. Good. And then if you want, you can kick your right heel up behind you, reach back and grab a hold. So with your other hand, Gina. Yeah. That's all right. I got you, babe. Yeah, good. Yeah, looks great. Well done. Well done, Maxine. Good. Nice, Jamie. Good. Left shoulder back. Right shoulder down a little bit. Good. Very nice. And then unravel, unwind, and hands to the floor again. And come up onto the ball of your back foot. Pause. Notice if you need to adjust your strap at all. And then step back into downward dog or child's pose, your choice. 3 deep breaths. I'm going to have you walk your feet to your hands after your 3rd deep breath. Good. And from here, you'll begin to walk your hands up the front of your legs as you inhale, slowly bringing yourself upright. Woo-wee! Okay, so we're coming upright just long enough to make a transition wherever your bench or the seat of a chair. You can use the seat of a chair in the living room or your ottoman, or I mean, you could use the wall, but that's a little more. I don't. Whatever. You do you. I'm not using the wall. I don't care to use the wall today. I'm going to use this little number right here, this little stool, and you can leave it where it is. I'm just going to put mine on my mat because I don't want to slip out from under me in the carpet. And what we're going to do is I'm going to have you now lower your strap slightly. So your strap has been just below bra line. And now I want you to take it, like truly take it down to your lowest ribs. Okay. So you might be maybe an inch or 2 below bra line. Right down at your low ribs, 11 and 12. And then bring your feet to, you don't have to be on your mat. Remember, you can just do this on your floor. Bring your feet to your prop, your table or your chair. And then you're going to come into downward dog. If you've got it, you can rest your heels against the base of your prop, right? So you can rest your heels against the legs of the chair or the legs of the table. Okay, so you can stay here. Now you've got the strap a little lower. Really focus on broadening those low ribs laterally, posteriorly as you breathe in, breathe out, or take it to the next step, which is 1 foot at a time on top of the seat or the table. And here we go into a partial handstand. Now your diaphragm truly has to work. It's really got to pump to lift the organs of your abdomen up as you inhale and exhale. So I want these breaths to be like the deepest breaths yet. Just take 3. So maybe you've already had 2. Ooh-wee. Work it, work it, work it. And then step down after your 3rd breath, come into child's pose. Sweep your arms down by your sides and allow yourself a moment of respite. Okay, let's give this another shot. We're just going to do this twice. So come back to your hands and your knees if you're up for it. If not, chill out, stay in bala. No shame and no game. No shame. If you're ready, you're going to come into downward dog. And remember, this is door number 1. So your body thinks you're in an inversion. I mean, you are basically. So you can pause right here and just breathe into that strap. Door number 2 is to step up with your other foot. So notice the foot that feels awkward or maybe a little less sturdy or stable. Step up with that foot onto your prop. We're not going high. You know, you could even step up onto your block to get your hips a little higher. Great. Now 3 deep breaths, ladies. Pull that breath into your back strap, your side strap, and visualize your diaphragm just pumping, moving up as you inhale. These are like your bicep curls. These are like your push-ups for your, that's what they are. They're push-ups for your diaphragm. I think we're on to something. I think we could market that. Diaphragmatic push-ups. Good. One more breath. Oh yeah, come down. Find Balasana, child's pose. Gosh, well done. Fantastic. Sweep your arms down by your sides. Whew. Open your mouth wide. Let your breath spill out onto the sticky mat. Great. So I want you to, if you've moved away from your mat, I want you to come back to your mat and come down onto your belly. Come all the way down. Stretch your body out prone on your mat. By now, the strap is just a part of you. It's just become part of your skin. It's just connected to you for the rest of the day. And bend your elbows and place one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. Turn your head to the right. And breathe into your strap, particularly the back and the side. And observe if lying down on the belly, your breath has more freedom of movement, if it moves more easily with greater ease and comfort now that your body is horizontal. Bring your forehead to the back of your hands. And then point your toes straight back. If they're not, I want you to press your toes and your feet into the floor, activating your legs. And as you inhale, lift your elbows, lift your forearms, lift your head, coming up into a variation of cobra. And as you exhale, you're going to come down, not quite to the floor, just right above the floor. And then twice more as you inhale, you're going to lift yourself up again. Exhale, float down. Last one, inhale, lift up. Elbows up, forearms up, hands up, head, chest, shoulders up. And exhale, come down, turn your head to the left. And enjoy the freedom of your breath. Bring your forehead to the floor, bring your hands behind your back, clasp your fingers together. If that feels not so great, just hook your thumbs. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale and lift as much of your body off the floor as you can. Take your knuckles to your heels, Float your heels up, your shins, even your thighs come up. Good. Reach back, pull back. While you're here, toggle your mandible back and forth for me a couple of times. Blah, 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 blah. Stick your tongue out. Blah, blah, blah. Good. And then one more breath. Lift up a little higher. Breathe into your side strap. Oh, and then exhale. Come on down. Good. You can release your hands. Take them wherever it's comfortable for you. Pull yourself up to your hands and your knees for thread the needle. You can take your knees a little wider than your hips. And I'm going to have you keep your strap on. I mean, why not? Keep your strap on and start with the right. Take your right hand between your left hand, left knee, come all the way down. So here we are, another inversion. As your spine rotates, your ribs twist, the skin twists, the fabric of your shirt moves, your strap even twists. And without so much of an emphasis of breathing deep, just let your breath normalize, neutralize. But I encourage you to stay aware of when and how much your breath moves into your strap when you start to not give it so much instruction. Come back to your hands and knees, unthread. Good. And when you're ready, go to the other side, left hand, left arm onto the floor between right hand, right knee. Good. Spin your strap, spin your skin, spin your ribs, spin your spine. Move your diaphragm. And back onto your hands and your knees, please. And walk your hands forward enough so that you'll keep your hips right above your knees. Come forward with your hands, maybe your forearms come to the floor, and then either your forehead or your chin to the floor for puppy. A little more challenging to breathe into your strap, but you can do it. My last inverted shape. Strengthening the diaphragm. Consciously strengthening the diaphragm. Beautiful. Good. If your chin is on the floor, bring your forehead to the floor so your cervical spine is neutralized, and then you can walk your hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up onto your hands and your knees, and let's come onto our backs. You can lose the strap. If you want, or you can wear it all day. Good. Hi, puppy. Come onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest. A little rock from side to side. Yeah, great. Keep your right knee into your chest. Stretch your left leg down onto the floor. We'll come into a supine twist. Take your right arm out to the right, and with your left hand, guide your right knee across your body to the left. Mm-hmm. Come back up to center. Keep your right knee in and hold on to your knee or the back of your right thigh with both hands, and curl yourself up. Bring your forehead towards your knee. It's irrelevant whether it gets there, but just hug yourself up there, squeeze and curl up. Now you're compressing your diaphragm, compressing your organs, but expanding through your posterior diaphragm. Great. And then release, bring your right foot down to the floor, right leg down to the floor. Let yourself just open up for a moment. Soft and wide through your belly, front ribs, and chest. And bring your left knee into your chest and give it a squeeze. And then we'll prepare to twist to the other side. Take your left arm out to the left and guide your left knee over to the right. Good. Great. Return to your back. Keep your left knee into your chest. And then holding on, curl yourself up. Squeeze, 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 bringing more awareness into the posterior diaphragm. Deep in your body, under your ribs. As you coil up, notice if there's clenching in your jaw, your throat. Good, and then release. And one more time, just to come back to symmetry, bring both knees into your chest. Send your heels to the ceiling, Supta Dandasana. Your arms can be down by your sides or out like a T, your call. But just pausing for a moment. Surround sound breath. And hugging your inner thighs towards one another, pressing up through the inner heels. Good. And soften your knees into your chest. And then rest your feet at the floor. Keep your knees bent. Take your feet a little wider. Let's end as we began with your knees dropping inward against one another. One hand to your belly. One hand to your low ribs. Diaphragmatic breathing. Remember those 4 key benefits, helping to relax us, lowering the harmful effects of cortisol on our bodies, lowering our heart rate, lowering our blood pressure, and helping and assisting with coping with the symptoms of PTSD. So, we know that it's not uncommon for the heart rate to increase during yoga asana, heart rate, blood pressure to increase during strenuous exercise or during times of high stress. And we know, of course, during times of high stress, cortisol is coursing. It's just doing what it's programmed to do. So during times of stressful activity, distress and eustress, but distress in particular, my challenge to you is to visualize the strap around your low ribs. And of course, going upside down as we've done throughout the course today, throughout the practice today, strengthening the muscle of the diaphragm. So now when you're upright and vertical, or you're in your car in traffic, and you come upon these situations of high stress, visualize the strap, breathe, surround sound breath into the lateral strap, posterior strap, so that you can cruise through situations of high stress, aware of the stress, feeling the stress, but yet at the same time, utilizing the tools that you have to reduce the harmful effects of stress and to increase your resiliency to said stress. You can take your arms down to the floor now, and if you would like to stay with your knees bent, that's fine, or stretch your legs down onto the mat, or take any shavasana shape you'd like. You can swing your shins, your calves up over the seat of a chair or an ottoman. No more pressure on your diaphragm to perform. Invite your diaphragm and your organs to rest. Invite your prana to flow freely and your blood to flow freely. You are welcome to remain in your state of rest for as long as your time permits and the space in your schedule permits. Or you can begin to move your digits, your fingers and your toes, deepening your breath. Begin stretching through your arms and your legs. Elongate your spine. Visualize how you want to come up to sitting, rolling to your favorite side, and then making it so. And finding a seat in which you are totally at ease. Skin on your face is at ease, your neck and throat, your jaw, arms and shoulders, your belly, your diaphragm, totally at ease. And we'll do the Gayatri mantra just one time through, joining only if you'd like. Bring your hands to your heart. Full breath in. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. And bringing the base of your thumbs up to your third eye. And the strength and the resiliency that we gain on our mat, may it provide strength and resiliency in our minds. Bring your fingertips to your lips. The strength and the resiliency that we cultivate on our mat, may it provide strength and resiliency in our words. And hands to your heart. The strength and resiliency that we generate on our mats with one another on the screen, may it bring strength and resiliency to our hearts. And thank you so much for joining me. Great, thanks everybody. So got off to a little rocky start with that video. I will attach that little 15-second video to the email when I send the recording. So you can watch it if you want. It's pretty cool. That's it. Thanks.